Good morning. Welcome to day 9, Monday, April 15th, 2024. This is the first morning for a while I haven't had like someone right next to me so I can do a little morning video in the tent. Just got my second cup of coffee brewed. My routine is, especially if it's chilly out, I'll do 1 cup of coffee, just check far out, confirm water for the day, and before you know it, that first cup of coffee is gone. Then it's time to start getting the tent unpacked, get everything ready to go. So that's where we're at. The bonus of being here is I did have pretty solid 2 bars of Verizon LTE. So in addition to checking in with Sarah and being connected to society for a little bit, the weather, I'm able to check the weather, and the long range forecast looks really good. The only like iffy day of weather coming up is the full day I'll be in Idlewild Thursday. So that's awesome. Yeah, getting ready to move out. It's just thinking this morning how, this is such a long trek, and with any big project, especially as you get older, you learn this, there are many ways to get the job done. And it's really cool seeing everyone out here with different styles of backpacking and different ways of getting it done. I've already seen slack packers already, the ultralighters, the regular, like the ULA circuit folks from years past. Now the hyperlights are huge. Yeah, it's fun to see. Be interesting to see how it all shakes out. But that's enough for right now. See you on the trail. Oops, one more thing. I guess the one thing I'm doing that might be a little different than most is I'm going for the longer resupplies. I think my strategy is a little different than most folks, especially when you're just starting out and you haven't done a lot of backpacking. But my plan was to go all the way to Idlewild without stopping anywhere, not stopping at Mount Laguna, not stopping in Julian, not stopping wherever else there may have been a stop along the way. I'm skipping Paradise Valley Cafe, all spots that if you do any kind of research on the PCT, lots of folks will make pit stops there, get a little resupply, maybe do some lodging. For me, what I think works best for me is I'm going to go for the longer hauls, be on the trail more, but then when I do go into town, I'm probably going to try and do 2 nights in most towns where I can and really enjoy everything town has to offer. Hot water, showers, all the luxuries. So, but a lot of people don't do it that way, and that's cool too. It's funny, nagging in the back of my head is there's still a lot of miles to go, and you mentally start doing the average of how many miles a day do I need to do to get to Canada in a reasonable time frame, early October, mid-October. And you can't slack off too much or you ain't gonna make it. So, and I know the miles come easier the further you get into this, but it's just interesting what goes through a thru-hiker's mind as they sip their coffee in the morning. All right, that's enough. See you later. 37 degrees, breaking down camp. That'll wake you up pretty quick. It's always like having that second cup of coffee while I'm breaking down the tent. Just keeps me warm. So, and once you start moving, and it warms up pretty quickly out here. So, just getting started. 2 guys came in a little after me yesterday. Camped a little further down. Said good morning, and I'm sure I'll see them again at some point today. Very glad it didn't rain or we had any condensation last night. All this brush is pretty grabby and it would be soaking me, and that's not fun when it's below 40 degrees. All right, we're probably not even an hour in yet, but it was time to delayer. And also it was a very sandy section of trail, so just quickly take off the socks and the shoes, get all the sand out of there, and keep an eye on that. So back on the trail we go. Hey, we're almost about 2 hours in, doing a quick foot break, getting the dirt out of trail runners, having a little energy. We're gonna keep moving. We got about 4-5 miles to our next water source, the water cistern. And then I gotta figure out how much water I'm gonna take from there. Because I'd have to do a total of about 22 miles for the day to get to the water source after the cistern. So decisions, we'll see. All right, we're just making our way across the desert to the water source. I just realized I probably haven't mentioned since I made the switch. I know I switched to the sun hoodie because my neck, I felt like was getting too much sun, and like the tops of my hands. So the sun hoodie gets an A+ seal of approval. It's, for me at least, definitely the way to go in the desert. Once I get to a more moderate climate, I may switch back to the long sleeve tech wick. But the sun hoodie's been awesome, very comfortable. So yeah, the only other minor thing is I've noticed, it's probably from yesterday's last 2 miles of downhill, pretty aggressive downhill. My left knee, not pain or anything, but I just feel a little something. More so in the downhill this morning. On the uphill, it's fine. So just gonna keep an eye on that, make sure we're not screwing anything up there. Slow down my pace just a tiny bit. Still making pretty good time though, so yeah, great morning, and we'll check in later. Just thinking about the sun. Yeah, there are definitely some people wearing the long pants for sun protection. That's just a bridge too far for me. I'd rather carry the sunscreen and just sunscreen the legs. And honestly, after a few days out here, you have such a layer of old sunscreen and dirt and grime. I don't think much is getting through. So main thing is just hitting the nose at least a couple times a day. The other great thing about the sun hoodie is you'll see a lot of people wearing sun gloves out here. That's just one thing I can't imagine myself ever doing. So the sun hoodie takes care of that problem as well. All right, more climbing. Water. Well, it may not be the best looking water color-wise, but it's ice cold. We'll filter it, it'll be fine. Glad it's here. All right, we finished loading up water. So I filled up both smart liter bottles with filtered water, so that's 3 liters. I also have probably about a liter and a half, 2 liters in the CNOC, just because I don't know if I'm going to get to another water source. I may have to dry camp tonight. But right at the cistern, as others have mentioned, be real careful when you're leaning in to get the water. It's not very, you could fall right in easily. But we got this nice little shady spot, a mini oasis before we keep marching in the desert, just getting a little more energy in me. And as always, taking the opportunity to air out the feet. All right, it's a little afternoon. We're smack dab in the middle of the desert. Haven't seen anyone in hours. One guy passed me about the first hour in from near our campsites, and I thought I might see some people at the cistern. Nobody there, and I haven't seen anyone yet. So I imagine, depending on how far I go today, maybe see some people catch up to me. But yeah, we're hitting the high desert heat from noon to 3, but definitely I'm feeling much better being in the desert, fully hydrated. Can even eat jerky, got plenty of saliva. Completely different experience when you're hydrated and stay hydrated. So just gonna keep marching on here. Looks like it's mostly climbing up these hills, but that's fine. It just slows us down a bit. All right, we're about 4,200 feet, about 11 miles into the day. It's around 12:30. You learn quickly when you find a shady little grove where you can rest your pack, you take advantage of it. So just having a little snack, airing out the feet, and looking at what's ahead. So I feel pretty good. My left knee is a little uncomfortable, but I think what happened is when I was twisting to look and see if my backpack was zipped up, I just slightly twisted it the wrong way, and now it's aggravated. So I don't think it's anything too serious, but other than that, everything's great. So we're going to keep moving. Still haven't seen anyone since the first guy early in the morning. Still plugging along here, staying hydrated, going easy on the knee, but it's pretty amazing. Yikes. It's a cool little patch of wildflowers. I think that's the most blooming wildflowers I've seen so far. All right, it's about 4 p.m. We're taking another shade break, air out the feet break for the final push to hopefully some camping. I think we're not going to get to the water, so figure out where we're going to set up for the night. But take another break, rest up for about 10 minutes, and then push on. All right, so we probably have like another mile and a half towards where I think we're going to camp for the night. Just had the second guy of the day that I seen pass me. I think he was the other guy camped where I was camped last night. So that's it. It's just been basically the three of us who were at that campsite. That's the three of us still. Not too surprising, but a little surprising. So there might be some people at these campsites coming up, because this is a good spot to set up to get in the Paradise Valley Cafe tomorrow for breakfast or whatever. So yeah, hopefully I can grab a spot. All right, it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm at around 4,800 feet at a nice little designated tent site here. Basically, this is the last little grouping of tent sites right before you go down to the road where you can walk to Paradise Valley Cafe. There was another set of tent sites like a mile and a half south that was pretty crowded there, so I was a little worried that this would be crowded as well, but it's not. That's awesome. I would have liked to have gone a little further, but I don't know if there's going to be shade. People camp by the power lines about 2 miles away, but if it's not going to be shady, this is a nice shady spot. So I have like 30 miles to get to Idlewild, divided by 2 days. So hopefully I can do a bigger, as long as my knee isn't acting up, I can do today's going to be, I think, about 18 miles. Hopefully I can do another 18 miler tomorrow, maybe even push it to 20, depending on what the water's like. And then, or try and set myself up for a shorter day Wednesday. But I can't check in until 3. I mean, it would have been nice to, I don't know, hang out a little bit before check-in somewhere, but I'm fine also just checking in, and I'll take into town in its entirety on Thursday. So, yep, just gonna rehydrate here, let the feet get aired out a bit, and then I'll get working on getting camp set up. Really good day. Yeah, it was similar weather to coming out of Scissors Crossing, but all the difference of having a better hydration. And yeah, kept a pretty good pace all day, close to 2 miles an hour, I think. So pretty happy with that. Yeah, so that's it. See you later. All right, it's about 6 p.m. We're about to have some dinner. Yeah, time is flying today for some reason. So I'm just trying to make some decisions. I got like 30 miles to the way I wanted to get in Idlewild from Devil's Slide Peak. Or you basically go 2 miles from here and go to Paradise Valley Cafe, and you can hitch in to Idlewild, which would be a day earlier than I wanted, and I'd have to make up all those trail miles. So it really is going to depend on how my left knee is feeling tomorrow. Right now, it doesn't feel bad at all. I'm sure it'll be stiff tomorrow morning, but yeah, we don't have to do like 2 15-mile days, which isn't too bad. There is one potentially sketchy section around Apache Peak, but there's even there's a workaround for that if it doesn't look safe. Because of snow and ice, it's still melting. So we'll see. I think if my knee feels good, I can get in like 18 miles and camp right before the sketchy section, and then hit that fresh early in the morning on Wednesday. Again, the only issue is going to be the water carry. There is some water to get off trail at various places. The last place to get water on trail that's reliable right now is like 6 miles from here. So if I loaded up there, I'd have a 12-mile water carry, which, my food's a lot lighter right now. And the water makes all the difference. Like, I lugged this pretty much after 8 miles, I lugged this. So I lugged this for 10 miles today, including 2 1.5 liters. So I can have my mashed potatoes, and I can have some decaf coffee, and I can have coffee in the morning. So yeah, just kind of, there's a lot whirling around right now. The one unknown is what the conditions on the trail are going to be like at Apache Peak. I'm not too worried about it, but it is an unknown. I'm more worried about how my knee's going to feel in the morning. If it's really bad, we'll see. I mean, the smart thing to do would probably be to just stay an extra night in Idlewild tomorrow night, and just let that rest up or heal up, whatever the issue is. So we'll see. Right now, though, I'm going to eat, edit today's video, and just relax. I'm in a really nice shady spot. No company yet. All right, a little recap. Wow, 9 days on the trail. Amazing. We're about just shy of 150 miles in. Also amazing. At about 4,800 feet, sipping a decaf coffee, enjoying some double chocolate Vons cookies. It doesn't get much better. So, another great day on the trail. Feeling pretty tired, and looking forward to the morning, and hopefully getting another good 18-mile day in to get us set up for Idlewild in a couple of days. So, see you in the morning.